Indeed so.
Thank you so much. The governor's case, from your reading of the response to the impeachment, that she received this advice. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
Your position is that it is not you who issued this advice.
That is true.
Just for my own understanding, is it your case that the governor, as a matter of fact, never received this advice?
I may not know, but I am not the one who prepared this document, and I am not the one who signed this document. In fact...
Sorry, Linda, let's just, the time here is such a big issue. I wanted just to clarify. Is it your case that, as a matter of fact, the governor never received this advice?
From me? No.
No, I'm not saying from you. I'm saying, as a matter of fact, you never received it.
I may not know.
You do not know. And what would bother this Senate, if I sat where the senator's seat will be, why would you come to make this kind of grave claims against the governor? That is a legitimate question, isn't it?
Indeed, so.
Let's see whether we can find an answer to that question. Linda, your services as the legal advisor to the governor were terminated by the county government of Meru, were they not?
They were terminated.
I'm happy. I just want to confirm that fact. Now, you did not take this lying law. You filed Meru Employment and Labor Relations case number E022 of 2024 against the governor's government of Meru. So not true?
That is true.
So you have an active dispute with the governor of Meru, don't you?
Indeed so.
Thank you so much. Prior to this, Linda, you are the running mate to the Honorable Mithika Linturi in a ticket adverse to the governor's ticket in the last general election. Is that true or not true?
That is true, honorable members.
Thank you so much. And you are a resident of Meru County.
I am a resident of Meru County.
It is fair to say that the governor, Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, does not enjoy a very good relationship with Honorable Mithika Linturi. Is that a fair assessment?
That is not a fair assessment, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members.
Okay, let me put it contrary. The governor enjoys a fantastic working relationship with the Senate, with Honorable Mithika Linturi. Is that now a fair assessment?
Mwalimu, if you had let me finish.
No, you have answered my question. I have limited time. The speaker there knows just how much time I have, and therefore I'm asking very limited questions. You said it is not fair that the governor does not enjoy a good relationship. I'm therefore suggesting to you, confirm, that the governor, Kawira Mwangaza, enjoys a fantastic working relationship with the person to whom you are the running mate, Honorable Mithika Linturi. Is that a fair assessment?
I may not know their...
You do not know. I'm happy with that answer. You are aware that there was an impeachment motion in Meru County Assembly by the same mover of the motion that brings us here today, just this month of July. True or not true?
I am aware.
And you are aware that in that impeachment motion, your termination, the termination of your services as the legal advisor to the governor was an issue raised for removal of this governor from office.
I saw the impeachment motion and I confirm that is the position.
Thank you so much, Linda. Linda, if I look at your affidavit, you want to make us believe that the person who drew your attention to the fact that this legal advice is here in Senate was Honorable DMK Kiogora. Is that correct?
Honorable members, that is the true fact.
Thank you so much. Honorable DMK Kiogora is the same person who moved the first impeachment motion against this governor before this Senate. True or not true?
That is true.
Thank you so much. Honorable DMK Kiogora is the same person, is one of the people who signed on the motion in support of the removal of this governor, which motion brings us here today. True or not true?
That is true.
That is true. And therefore, it is fair for us to conclude, is it not, that you are actually procured by those who are against the governor to come and state what you have stated before this Senate. Isn't that a fair assessment?
It is a very unfair comment.
Thank you so much. I'll leave with that. Allow me to move to something else very small, very little. We want us to believe that you came to this Senate as an independent witness, not one of those witnesses summoned by the county assembly. No, I mean, voluntarily giving evidence for the county assembly.
I came here to clear my name.
You came here to clear your name. But somehow, as early as yesterday, in advance of the county assembly's application today to this Senate, you had a ready affidavit to support their evidence.
I sent that affidavit to the speaker at 10 p.m. at night.
But how was it received? The copy have been served does not have any receiving stamp in this Senate. How was it received?
I may not know how it was received, but I sent it to the email of the speaker of this Senate.
Oh, it's your testimony this affidavit was sent in soft copy?
I did so, but I also sent DM Kyogora to ensure that it has been served.
You also dispatched DM Kyogora,
yes,
a signatory, yes, to the impeachment motion against this government to follow this governor to follow up for you that this has been received here. True or not true?
Honorable Speaker.
You also sent DM Kyogora, didn't you?
I asked him to confirm.
Correct. Let's use the word asked to save time. You also asked him to confirm for you. True or not true?
It is true.
Thank you so much, Linda. Having said that, in the case you have filed at Meru Employment and Labor Relations Court, case number E022 of 2024, one of your witnesses in that case is Virginia Kawira. You know that?
No, she's not my witness. I have sued the county public service together with the governor.
Yes, I'm asking, is Virginia Kawira one of your witnesses in that case?
She is not one of my witnesses, honorable members.
Let me move in finalization of this matter. The opinion in question has a signature. Does that signature resemble your signature?
It resembles. I said it mimics my signature.
I'm asking a different term. Does it resemble your, does it look like your signature?
It resembles my signature.
Thank you so much. It was issued during your term in office.
I may not know, but the dates are within
the date is with the term when you are in office.
Indeed so.
During that term, you used to render legal advice to the governor.
At that time,
during that period in office,
the governor had already asked me to make a resignation.
I'm asking, that time you were in office, had your term been, as your service has been terminated?
The governor was only waiting to write for me a letter to dismiss me. Verbally, she had asked me to resign in December 2023.
Sorry, Linda, let me ask you a question let me go back a little. Is your advocate in your case in Meru, Ngwele and Company Advocates?
He is.
That case was filed on 21st May 2024.
It is.
You filed a list of witnesses in that case.
Yes, I did.
You are witness number 1 in that case.
In fact,
you are witness number 1 on that list of witnesses in that case.
Yes.
Would it surprise you that in soft copy in front of me is that list of witnesses with Virginia Kawira Miriti as your witness number 2? Would it surprise you?
At the time.
Would it surprise you?
It will not surprise me.
So it is true that in that court case, the list of witnesses filed there for you lists Virginia Kawira Miriti as your witness.
At the time before the same Virginia.
Is it true that that list filed in that court lists Virginia Kawira Miriti as your witness number 2?
It does.
Thank you so much.
But circumstances changed.
I have no problem with that. At least this Virginia Kawira Miriti is the same person the county assembly has also applied to come here today and also give evidence that they were not able to procure her earlier as a witness.
Come again?
Today, the county assembly applied for some witness summons. Are you aware that together with you, they also sought that Virginia be summoned?
I'm not aware.
I'm now putting to you as a fact that she was also summoned. Now, I want to suggest to you that these coincidences are too fantastic to be merely coincidental.
Honorable members, I was later dismissed after I filed my suit by the same Virginia Kawira, and she signed a dismissal letter against me. And now circumstances have changed. She is no longer my witness. And we have admitted to the court to ask to amend our pleadings to reflect as much. So she's not my witness.
to your knowledge, do you know of a further list of witnesses filed in that case?
I may not reflect my...
A researcher going to that court file will find only one list of witnesses listing you and Virginia.
Indeed so.
Thank you. The same Virginia who you also know has sued the county governor for the termination of the revocation of her appointment as the secretary to the service board.
I do not know.
You do not know that fact. But I'm suggesting to you that all these things I have pointed here, if you sat as an objective observer, would show that you have a bone to pick with the governor.
If I was to bring my statements for calls, I have never talked to Virginia, nor to any other member of the county.
The question was different. I'm saying all this filing of the case, you are Mithika's running mate, your name was in the impeachment motion. I would have gone into the public participation where your name was mentioned multiple times as the reason for this motion before us. We shall submit that later to the senators because the record is before them, show that generally you have some bone to pick with the governor. There's a quarrel you have with the governor because your services were terminated.
I have no quarrel with the governor. In fact, when I received my appointment letter, it is the former cabinet secretary for agriculture, Mithika Linturi, who told me, go and help my sister in Meru County.
Thank you so much.
And she also affirmed that while she was giving me my appointment letter. I have no fight with the governor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know, Linda, there's something in the Bible called the kiss of betrayal. But thank you so much. I will not press that.
Mr. Speaker, Sam, my name is Ndego Mwangi. I'll take very few minutes in re-examination. Re-exam. Madam Linda.
Yes.
Did the governor
Council,
give you...
you only have 14 minutes.
I'll
Just
take
be
less
aware.
than that, Mr. Speaker. Did the governor give you the job knowing that you are the deputy governor to Honorable Mithika Linturi?
She did.
Did the governor seems to be having a litany of cases against her former employees?
Come again, Council?
The governor seems to be having so many cases in court with her former employees. Are you aware of that?
I am aware.
You are asked whether the issues, several issues have been raised before this Senate. The issue of whether you have filed a case and whether Virginia is your witness. And the issue in question is the memo. Is it your evidence that the signature does not belong to you?
Honorable Speaker and honorable members of the Senate, I am an advocate of the High Court. I would not come to lie to honorable members. This is not my signature. This signature has been lifted from previous documents and placed on this document.
And would you know whether the governor really received that evidence, that advice, when it's not you who gave it to her?
I may not know, Mr. Speaker, signed honorable members.
Now, what is the case that has been mentioned as relating to the question of the internal memo? Is there any relationship?
It's no relationship. This is about legal advice. And I have come to clear my name. Why? Because of the mediocrity of the advice. I would have wanted to also be a national leader. I had applied to be a PS. If I come to the committee that hears, the appointments from the national government, and such a document is presented as to have emanated from me, how would I speak for myself? How would I defend myself? The only reason I am here is to clear my name. And I am so disappointed that such a document would be forged with my name by Her Excellency. I have no ill feelings whatsoever against the governor.
A link has been laid that the honorable member who called you, relating the honorable member to the first impeachment motion. My question to you is there a relationship, or what came before the first impeachment and your internal memo, the forged internal memo?
Come again, Council?
There is a link that has been created.
Yes.
That you are here to perpetuate the deeds of the honorable member who called you to report to you about the internal memo. The question is, the first impeachment that was moved by the said honorable member, was it before the forged signature?
It was before the forged signature.
So you cannot be a conduit of the said member, can you?
No, I am not.
That's all, Mr. Honorable Speaker.
Counsel, or legal counsel for the assembly, just be aware that you only have 10 minutes.
Yes, Mr.
To
Speaker.
conclude with providing your evidence and witnesses.
We are most humbled. Within the 10 minutes, kindly allow us to call our next and last witness, one Jacob Kirari. Mr. Kawira will take the witness.
Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms, please bring the witness in. Yes, Mr. Senator Faki, what is your point of order?
At some point, you had indicated that we'll be given give the senators opportunities to ask questions. Was that overruled?
No, we are actually approaching to that time. We are approaching to question time very soon.
Okay.
Counsel, you can have your witness being sworn in. Sergeant at Arms kindly facilitate the swearing in of the witness.
I, Jacob Kirari, do solemnly affirm that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be truth, the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Honorable Speaker, my name is Boniface Mawera. I will take this witness through cross-examination. Yes. I have very few questions for you, Mr. Witness. Kindly introduce yourself. What is your name? My name is Jacob Kirari, clerk to County Assembly of Meru. Okay. Honorable Speaker, when we made the request for summons in the morning, we requested that the clerk avail the original register of documents that are received by the County Assembly as and when they are served. He has the original register here. But I don't know, senators, and I'm truly sorry for this, because it's just arrived with this original register. You might not have the benefit of the copies, because it just arrived a few minutes ago, I'm told. So probably after this, you can copies of this original register can be made for the benefit of the Speaker and the honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, I would desire to respond to that request before ruling is made.
All right, counsel for the governor, you had an intervention.
Mr. Speaker, the procedure of this House is that the notice by the clerk gave all of us up to Saturday, the 17th of August this year to furnish our documents to the clerk. My colleagues will confirm, we actually, both of us met at the clerk's office at the same time. In fact, the clerks didn't have to incur any expense serving these documents. The parties just exchanged the documents there. We have just dealt with our witness here, whose affidavit was brought to us for the first time when we were sitting here. All this information you have seen me using to cross-examine, we have had to collect it, including getting information from court in Meru to confirm who these witnesses are, because she had lied to you that so-and-so is not my witness, Virginia is not my witness. I had to get that evidence from Meru. It is an unfair approach to a trial for parties to keep subjecting us to new documents that we have not had a chance to discuss with our client and other persons who may have knowledge, so that we can fairly engage in cross-examination. Mr. Speaker, sir, I humbly beseech that parties having filed their documents, this witness evidence be limited to commenting on the documents already filed and not introducing new documents. It is becoming an extremely punitive trial process to we as counsel and to our client if we will continue facing a trial by ambush. Fortunately for me, this Senate has a number of lawyers who know just how egregious trial by ambush is to our justice system. We are here in a justice process. We beseech you, Mr. Speaker, to make a definitive ruling that the evidence of this witness is limited to commenting on the documents already filed by the parties, where both parties have had a fair chance to look at, and not ambushing us with the new documents, which we don't know how we shall interrogate them before we cross-examine them. I humbly beseech you.
Councillor Longoya, you will note that in the morning, there was an application under Regulation 10 by the Council for the County Assembly with regard to these two particular witnesses. And that is the basis upon which they were allowed to come in and was summoned. The first witness has already been dealt with, and you've dealt with it very well, whichever way you did, whether you, out of your ability to do it, you've done within that short time. I believe equally that this particular witness, because of the summons that the House issued earlier on, will, because we haven't yet seen the documentation they are going to rely on, it will be on the basis of your documents and whatever register that we will shortly direct that it be availed to the members and the House for them to be able to interrogate as the witness proceeds to testify. So I believe that in the shortest time that we have, we will have the witness take the stand and will be guiding the witness along the way. Counsel for the Assembly proceed to take the witness and make available the document that you would want to have your witness testify on.
Honorable Speaker, the witness has come with the original register. For context, Honorable Speaker, the reason this witness has been summoned is because we discovered forgeries in the governor's documents after we exchanged documents on Saturday at around 6 p.m. And that is the only reason this witness is a fairly short witness. And in our summons, we requested that he avail the original register. There is only one original register, and this is the original register he has brought for all the letters and all the correspondences that are served in the County Assembly. So I would implore, Honorable Speaker, and I would seek your guidance as to whether you can assist us to make copies so that they are availed to members, or the original register can be circulated to members. I'm lost, Honorable Speaker.
Counsel, we will, as you run the witness to the document, we will need definitely for you to table the original document, as well as making available copies for counsel for the governor, as well as the House, to interrogate whether or not we will admit it, but we must get a copy of that register. Senator Faki, what's your point of order?
I'm trying to understand this procedure. You know, what I understand is that whatever evidence that was before the county assembly is what was brought here. Now, if they are bringing in new evidence, I don't think it is admissible.
Senator Faki, if you followed the proceedings in the morning pursuant to the application made and the ruling of the Speaker, the reason as to why we have this witness is on the basis of that ruling. That has not been vacated. We are proceeding to deal with it. Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, it would be academic for us to proceed in the manner that has been suggested by the Council for the Assembly, because we cannot listen to the submissions and entertain the interrogation if we do not have visibility of the documents or records. We are the judges in this matter. We are not spectators. And Mr. Speaker, I know there is a past impeachment proceeding where we found ourselves in such a situation, where a witness had been summoned and the documents had not been availed to members of the Senate, and the Speaker, sitting where you're sitting, Mr. Speaker, sir, made a ruling that we could proceed with the next witness, and if we don't have the next witness, then the House could consider listening to the testimony of the witness tomorrow in the morning, when all members are able to be seized of the records or the substance that he wants to use to convince the Senate. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, let's not do an academic exercise.
Senator Kajwang, the ruling I've made is to the effect that we get a document in the form of register for purposes of the members to interrogate, as well as the counsel for the governor. This is the last witness by the county assembly, and they have limited time. You know, we are prosecuting this motion within limited timelines, and therefore we will, in the next 5 minutes, be able to conclude on this particular document availed to members. Then we close on this particular case. For now, the position is we will avail the document they will rely on, as well as, if any, important comments they would want to make or interrogate on the evidence that already had been supplied by both parties. I do not want to deviate from that early ruling. We will give them a few minutes to avail that document, then we proceed. Very well, I'll not allow you to intervene any further, Senator Faki. What we will do, I'll give directions to the effect that we will stand down this particular witness. We have got questions, clarifications by members from among the witnesses who already testified. We will go back to that one, get those clarifications. Once we are done, we will come back to this particular witness as we close, because at that time, we will have had time to look at the document, including giving an opportunity to the counsel for the governor to look at that particular register before they take the witness to the stand. So can we have the witnesses who already testified, starting probably with the first witness, be put to the stand? Let members avail questions and clarifications and inquiries they would like to have from that particular witness, so that we immediately embark on that session. Then once we are done, we go back to the gentleman who was on the stand. That is the direction of the chair. The witness can step back as we prepare to avail that document to the House.
We are most obliged, Mr. Chair.